Yeah, so I grew up in a family band in Pennsylvania. I have three sisters. We all sort of loved musical theater, so by the time I was probably 7 or 8, we were putting on our own plays in the backyard, dressing up, writing scripts, like playing for our local elementary schools. We would just like play wherever we could, open mic nights, anything, festivals, and that was sort of just where it all started. We just started like playing, and you know, people started coming out to see us, and then long story short, we moved to New York City when I was 13 because my parents got divorced. So one lived in PA, one lived in New York, and that was sort of my reawakening because I started out in country. My mom is from South Carolina, so that's where the country came from, I guess. So I grew up like Martina McBride, Patti Loveless, Lori McKenna was, well, probably too soon for her, but if you know, like, well, obviously Patsy Cline, Lori Morgan, got the list, could go on forever. Elvis, I was really into Elvis for a hot minute when I was like 6 or 7. And from there, I think I didn't know any other type of music existed. So I moved to New York, that sort of spawned like a whole other awakening to like, oh, there's like other music in the world. Okay, it's not just country, I get it. So I got really into like All American Rejects and like Third Eye Blind, and I was like 16 at the time. So I was like, oh my God, rock music, wow, cool. And it just so happened that I had spent a lot of my younger years before New York coming to Nashville. I worked with Kenny Rogers on the show. Do you know like Kenny Rogers? Like, everybody knows the chicken, Kenny Rogers Roasters. Do you even know about that? He had a chicken restaurant. So when I started doing the show with him in New York, everybody was like, oh my God, like the chicken guy. I'm like, yeah, but he also like had famous songs. So Islands in the Stream with Dolly Parton, The Gambler, obviously. So he had started bringing me down here when I was a kid, 11, 12, 13, and we did a couple different recordings together. I sang with him in a lot of his shows, and then he actually put me on a song with Susie Boggess and Billy Dean, who are other country singers. They were, you know, popular in the 90s. They probably hate that I just said that. They're still popular now, but they were more popular then. We did a song together that ended up on the Billboard charts. So that sort of brought me down here more to take meetings, and being in the band with my sisters, I really wanted to do that. I wanted to stay with my family, but one of my parents was like, you should sign a deal by yourself, do a solo thing. And I was like, but I want to be with my sisters. And I was kind of torn between both of those things early on. And as it so happens, when we got to New York, we started playing at clubs all over the city, the Bitter End, CBGB's, the rock club. They had like a other room that we played in. I got like worn out by 16 or 17. I was like, like over this, I need to go back to high school or just be normal, because I've been homeschooled for a really long time. So I went back to high school, left the band, did my own solo project, and you know, eventually went to college, and then when I graduated college, I moved here. So by the time I moved here, my sisters already had a record deal on their own without me. So I got to Nashville and I was like, okay, how do I establish myself on my own? How do I figure out who I am without them? So that's been the past 3.5, 4 years of just soul searching and figuring out who I am as an artist.